Hey everyone, welcome back to Optimal EV. Today we're going to be giving you a brief rundown on the federal tax credits for electric vehicles in the United States.
Just so you know, this video is recorded as of June 20th, 2021. So the federal tax credit may change for your vehicle. Make sure to check out the description to see which vehicles do qualify.
So Troy, from my understanding, both electric and plug-in hybrids qualify for federal tax credits. Could you give me a quick rundown on that?
No problem, Sam. So basically, for an electric vehicle and a plug-in hybrid vehicle, to qualify for the federal tax credit, you will have to either finance the vehicle or pay cash, and you must be the first owner. You cannot lease it. And based off the size of the battery, that will determine how much you will be able to qualify for the tax credit.
Oh, okay. So what are the limitations for qualifying then?
So basically, once a manufacturer hits 200,000 domestic vehicles sold, we've actually seen it happen with Tesla and General Motors. And basically what they did is they had a phase-out period. For the first 2 quarters, they got the amount lowered on the tax credit. Once it hit the next 2 quarters, it got lowered again. And then on the 5th quarter, they actually completely ran out of the tax credit.
Okay, cool. So is there a certain place I can check out how many domestic car sales a certain manufacturer has?
Yeah, they actually make it easy. There is a website to show how many vehicles have been sold for that manufacturer domestically. And you'll be able to see in that the threshold that it needs to hit, which is 200,000. And I will be able to pull it up for you right now. So here we are on fueleconomy.gov, the government website for showing you how much federal tax credit money you could receive when purchasing an electric vehicle in the United States. Just remember, you must purchase the car cash or finance the vehicle, and you must be the first titled owner. I'm going to show you how to navigate through the site, starting on our filter tab, showing all electric vehicles. So if you're purchasing an all-electric vehicle and you're not planning on getting a plug-in hybrid, you might want to start with this tab to see which vehicle is best for you. On the left side, we have our vehicle make and model, our vehicle type, which is our full EV, and as you can see with PHEVs, it's going to show the PHEV. Then we have our full credit, which for a full electric vehicle, it's going to always start at $7,500, starting January 1st, 2010. Then you'll have a phase-out period, which 50% and 25%. Starting with General Motors, any vehicle purchased after March 31st, 2020 are no longer eligible for these tax credits. So as you can see, on March 31st, 2019, they began the phase-out period because they hit 200,000 vehicles. 6 months later, they ended the 50% phase-out period and went to the 25%. And then by the 5th quarter, they no longer qualified for that credit. As you go down, you're going to see Tesla, same exact thing, but they were a little earlier because they sold so many vehicles, and obviously Tesla as a brand only sells full electric vehicles. Now we're going to go up to PHEVs. Going to click the tab here. As you can see on the middle, plug-in hybrids, and you're definitely going to see some differences from the full electric side because they receive a different amount of federal tax credit per vehicle. And some do still receive that $7,500. The reason for that is because it all depends on the battery size. So if the battery is big enough, you can still qualify for the full amount. Just come to the fueleconomy.gov site to obviously use it as a reference to find out how much you will get for the electric vehicle that you're purchasing. As we scroll down, you're going to see General Motors again. They have a couple PHEVs that no longer qualify, just like their electric vehicles. But most of the cars on here do still qualify for the federal tax credit because those brands have not sold the amount of electric vehicles or plug-in hybrids to hit 200,000. Now we're going to head over to EV adoption to show you this chart of which brands are getting closest to hitting the total amount of electric vehicles sold to reach 200,000 and begin that phase-out period. As you can see on the top, Tesla and General Motors have already hit that point and are well beyond the phase-out period. Next, we have Nissan, Toyota, Ford, and BMW, who are the closest to hitting 200,000, but clearly have a lot of ways to go. They're probably going to hit it somewhere in late 2022, and for some of the brands, sometime in 2023. If we go to the bottom, Land Rover, Subaru, Jaguar, they still have plenty of time, and they haven't sold a ton of electric vehicles yet or plug-in hybrids. So the reason that this chart is so important is because when you look at the numbers, some of these brands are getting close to that phase-out period. So you don't want to miss out on some of the federal tax credit money by just waiting too long. So let's say you're looking at Nissan and they're getting close to that mark. Maybe you want to buy one of their electric vehicles sooner than later so that you can qualify for the full amount. So just make sure to check out EV adoption. Look at this chart. Obviously, it is only to June 2020, but this is the most accurate chart that I've seen per brand and in order for the United States. Plus, you can go over to fueleconomy.gov to check out which car is going to be qualifying for what amount, especially when it comes to those PHEVs because of the battery sizes. All right, now that we've went over the federal tax information and the limitations to receiving that credit, for example, the size of the battery or how many vehicles that manufacturer sold, do you have any other information you want to go over, Sam?
Yeah, I actually just saw that they might be adding a $12,500 federal tax credit. Do you know anything about that?
Yeah, so I've seen on the news that the government is actually thinking of increasing the amount to 12,500. But there are some stipulations to that, which would be that the vehicle must be assembled in the United States and it must be assembled by union workers to qualify for the full amount. Again, that is nothing confirmed. Hopefully that's what happens. And if it does, maybe that's something that will actually push you over the edge to buying an electric vehicle or a plug-in hybrid.
Awesome. Well, that's all the federal tax information we have. If we get any more updates, we'll make sure to post a video here on this channel. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop them down in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the future.